Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel, you can support the channel through a monthly subscription via patreon.com. You would go there and look up Engelgeist, set up an account, and choose a subscription level over there. There is readings that are available only over there every month, depending on the subscription level you choose. If you're interested in a private reading, you can send me any questions you'd like to my Facebook business page, and I will answer them for you there. They're payable via PayPal. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the reading and subscribe to the channel. Also, you can go over and like and follow the Facebook business page and vice versa. If you're watching this on Facebook, please feel free to go over and like and follow the YouTube channel. This is a broad spectrum reading for the collective, therefore it's intended for those who see it. I do speak in broad terms when doing these readings, just so that the meanings or the words that I speak can reach as many people. That's the idea. If things don't necessarily make sense to you or don't necessarily seem to fit with where you're at in your life, that's completely fine. Don't worry, nothing is wrong or broken. Just might mean that you might be working on something different than the majority of the people that may tune into this video over time. This video is a timeless video in the sense that I believe that our higher self, spirit, our guardian angels, God, whatever you want to call it, can have a way of finding these messages and bringing them to us when we need them versus when they were originally created for. So this is for Monday, the 22nd of February. So we will be building on the Sunday reading. But if you're watching it on a date that's not the 22nd of February, that's fine. It could still have valid information for you and still apply to your situation. So you can continue to watch the video if you'd like. All comments and questions are greatly appreciated, so please feel free to leave them after having watched the video. And let's get into this and see what's going on. Oh, the other thing I will say too is if this does fit in your life, and it does make sense, and you do figure out for your own personal self where what I'm saying applies to your life, know that any decisions you make in your day-to-day life are totally your responsibility. They are your decisions. Therefore, always use your own highest intelligence and intuition when making those decisions. And never take anything that I say over that of a medical professional, a doctor, lawyer, therapist, anybody that's a qualified professional in their field. Always listen to them first and foremost over anything that I may say, okay? Excuse me. That's just for my protection and for your protection too, so that you're making the best, most informed decisions, okay? All right, so let's see what the cards want us to know. It's early this morning. All right, I'll take it. Eight of Discs. Prudence. I love this particular card for the Eight of Discs. It doesn't necessarily associate with me with the Eight of Discs. To me, I see obviously growth, beauty, strength, firmly rooted, grounded, which would be a disc's quality or pentacles quality, would be that earthy, grounded energy. But what I love about this is that it's a flowering plant with a very thick root system. Even with those hills in the background, which could represent some sort of adversity or, maybe we've come through some sort of a harder experience of recent, or maybe, in the last year. Certainly we've all had a rough 2020. Excuse me for yawning, guys. It's not even 6 a.m. here. But what I do love about it is that this plant is flourishing, even in the face of having faced some adverse situations, right? We've gotten beyond those things, and now it's time to kind of put in the work, continue to do, the growth, continue to sort of expand, continue to root ourselves firmly in who we are and what we know, and then to watch that, the sort of the byproduct of that work, extend itself out, right? Creating more beauty, creating a larger plant, creating, more aspects of ourselves or familiarity with ourselves, more comfort in our own skin, that kind of an energy with this card. Now, hearkening back to Sunday's reading, which was just yesterday, we did have that Hierophant energy, right? Which he is, I believe, Taurus. But I always vacillate between Taurus and Virgo, but he is also very much earth energy. And with him came that Prince of Discs, which again would be that earth energy too of this, which matches up nicely with this 8 of Discs. So ideally, I would say let's be grounded today. Let's be practical today. Let's put in the work and understand and acknowledge the work that we put in creates the growth that we get to experience or enjoy. There's also an enjoyment in this card of the beauty of this plant, right? So we should be experiencing not only, you know, maybe a little bit of hard work, a little bit of attention to detail, but also reaping the benefits of that as we're in it, right? The Hierophant is going to be about intelligence, and this 8 of Discs or 8 of Pentacles is about putting in that specific work, that specific awareness, focusing in on sort of the details and doing those things so that we can like sort of reap the rewards. It's also with this particular tree, to me, it's like we bring our own version of beauty or skill to whatever it is we're dealing with. So keeping that in mind, we also have the Judgment card and the Tower. So let's not negate that tower lurking somewhere in the background. I don't want to talk too much about it yet because I want to see what the clarifiers are. But I think that this is a really beautiful card for Monday. As far as the work we put in, we will reap reward. We will be, I get a definite sense of self-appreciation. Sometimes the 8 of Discs isn't about that. It's certainly in other decks, it can be about, you know, maybe having blinders on and only focusing on what's right in front of us. To me, this 8 of Discs, it has that work put in because we see the strength of the growth and the beauty in the growth, right? That's the work that's being put in. But we also see it sort of flourishing or appreciating itself, right? Seeing its own beauty and understanding from the work that we put in, the sort of gifts or opportunities that we've created. So keep that as a focus today, I think is key with this card. So let's look at the clarifiers and see what they have to say for us today. We have the Prince of Cups. These princes, man, we can't get away from them. So he's going to be the airy energy of water, which air is intellect, water is emotion. So we've got our emotions and our mind kind of in line, I feel like. We want to move forward. We want to make things happen. We did see a lot of emotional energy leading up to the end of this week, and we have shifted into Piscean season, right? Which would be very emotional, very psychic, very you know, subconscious-y kind of energy. So I'm not bothered by him. I also love that he's the Prince of Water and this plant is growing. Plants need water to grow. So we want to be in line mentally and emotionally as we do the work, the physical work that we see represented in this 8 of Pentacles. To me, I feel like there's a symbiosis between these two cards. I also feel like there's a direction with this Prince of Cups, right? He's on that beautiful bird chariot, ready to fly over whatever he needs to fly over, or you know, pursue whatever he needs to pursue, not allowing too much to get in his way. There's always this sort of speed with these Prince cards that make me feel like they're definitely on the path. They see the path, they know what they want, they know how to go about getting it, and they're working their way towards that. We have the 7 of Wands. This is valor. In this particular deck, sometimes the 7 of Wands can indicate like an argument or fight. I don't get that with this card. The particular design that I see here, this is about standing strong in our spiritual truth. Wands being that element, that dynamic element of fire. And I love how we have earth, water, and fire going on here right now. And we even have, because it's the Prince, we have a little bit of air there. So there's a balance of the 4 elements in all of these cards that we've seen thus far. But with this element of fire, it's about standing true to what we know today. And we see that standing true in that 8 of Discs too, in the strength of that tree, right? And I always, when I see this particular 7 of Wands, I don't see, it's usually a man kind of staving off the other wands, like beating them back. Excuse me, standing in his own truth. And I can see that to a degree, but with the shininess of this one here, this one always makes me think of the readee, right? Or the querent, right? The person that's watching this video. It always makes me think of us believing in ourselves enough to stand in our own truth and stand firmly in it, no matter what like outside opinions may be, right? We don't necessarily have to fight for it. We just need to shine in who we are and how we feel, how we think, how we put in the work, where we put in the effort. And that's the beauty of that 8 of discs too, is it's like everything that we do and the sort of like almost the special spin that we bring along to our day to day is going to allow us to flourish, grow, strengthen our pursuit even of whatever it is that we desire. Whatever it is that we desire will be different for each and every one of us, obviously, because there will be, you know, different sorry, it's early. There will be many of you watching. There will be different of you watching is what I was going to say. There will be many of you watching. So each one of you, your desire may be different, but I like that it feels like our spirit's in line and willing to stand up for what we want. Certainly our emotions are ready to move forward, take action in a way and move forward. And the growth there and the work, the attention to detail is there in that 8 of Pentacles that allows us to sort of go beyond maybe what we previously have. And to do so in a very, you know, kind of cool, calm, collected, appreciative way. And I mean, this appreciative to me, this appreciation to me feels focused on ourselves today. And I hope that's the case because that's kind of the message that I'm getting from these 3 cards. It's like stand true in what you know and stand strong and allow that knowingness, right? Wherever you find it within your physical being, within your emotional being, within your spiritual being, it's there in all of these cards. So stand in it and allow it to be your guide and allow it to sort of branch you out, to grow you out, to allow you to make the sort of smart, guided decisions. And we also see that intelligence and that knowledge within that hierophant that's underneath all of this, right? That should be our guide this week. We saw that hierophant twice in yesterday's reading, you know, at both the beginning of the reading and towards the end. So that is going to be something that will be underpinning us throughout this week is our own higher intelligence, right? So acting from that place is a really good thing. This card we saw also in yesterday's forecast as the end of the week main card, and this is in this deck it's called Lust. This is a really strange card for me because it totally takes me off that path of the Strength card. That's what this represents. It's that woman with the lion, but there's very much a sort of sexual nature to this card. I don't know if I really like it. I have to say this. This is just a side caveat with this deck. This deck is different than other tarot decks. I know it's world famous. I know it's quite a favorite. I'm not trying to knock this deck in any way, shape, or form. But to learn this deck in just a month is just a little bit hard. And there's also a slight strange darkness with certain aspects of this card that I'm with this deck that I'm kind of like, huh? So I'm going to take this as the traditional Strength card. And again, we're talking about that element of fire or that element of Leo. That's what Strength is associated with. It is major arcana, so we have big ups here. We have big boosts in energy. We should feel energized. We should feel able to stand in our truth. We should be able to move confidently towards what it is that we want. The Lust aspect of this Strength card, I'll say, okay, let's put that in the realm or the wheelhouse of, say, an idea of desire. What is it that we want? And that's what I mean by lusting after. We have the strength and the capacity to go after it, to pursue it, to have it. I definitely see that in all of these cards. It's really sort of up to you to trust everything that is going on within you, around you, and what it is that you're doing in your outside environment to pursue these goals with whatever the goal is for you, right? Each one of you, like I said, it's going to be a different goal. I will say this too, remember the underpinning stone for this week is that word honor. And I do see a lot of honor in these cards here, but where I feel like this honor is about, this is about, and I may have said this yesterday, I probably did, but today, this honor should be placed within ourselves and upon ourselves in a very natural, functional, way, if that makes sense, right? We see the honor be in the Seven of Wands as, you know, standing true in what we know to be sort of true in our desire. We see the strength, that would be a form of honor in that strength or lust card. I feel like there's an emotional honor that's going on and an emotional intelligence that's going on in that Prince of Cups. There's a swiftness and a movement. We're moving towards what feels right, what we think is right, doing the right thing. And there's certainly an honor in the growth, the beauty, and the meticulousness that sometimes the Eight of Pentacles can represent, right? So I like all of that. But this honor would be focused on ourselves. Okay, let's go into the grounding stone and see what the grounding stone is for today. Let's dig deep in this bag. And we've got on obsidian, which wards off negativity. Definitely a very grounding stone is the word wisdom. Trusting our own wisdom, grounding in our own wisdom, grounding in our own knowledge, emotional, mental, or intelligence knowledge, in our own sort of physical knowledge, in our own, like, to me, this card coupled with this stone, this is all about belief in the self today. Where and how can we apply belief in ourselves and stand true to that without necessarily harming anybody else? I do want to say that, because that Seven of Wands could indicate like maybe having to defend yourself in some way. But I really feel like that singular wand that stands there in the center is not affected by those outside opinions or outside situations. Even the Prince of Cups feels like he would move himself away from them swiftly, deftly, without any need to get caught up in the fighting or the argument. Does that make sense? There's a way to do that and to sit in your own wisdom, to ground in your own wisdom, in your own honor, and understand who you are, what you're worth, and what you're capable of today. It's a really beautiful reading, guys. That is your reading for the day. I hope that you are able to find this for yourself, utilize it, and enjoy it. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.